Operations manager with the Steam Railroading Institute. Ever since we rebuilt the running gear on 1225 in 2022 to 23, it's been performing pretty well. A couple hiccups last year, but something we've been long interested in is trying to get higher speeds on the running gear, just to ensure that if the ability or the opportunity to operate at speeds higher than 25 miles an hour, which is usually what we operate at, arises, we know the steam locomotive is capable of doing that. And so all of this came together that over the last couple of years we've became good friends with some of the folks here at Lake State Railway Company, and I approached them because their track speeds here are good for 40 miles an hour and their signal territory and all that. So I approached them with the request of a test run with 1225. If we were able to get 1225 out here, would they allow us to operate at track speed, which is 40 miles an hour? They were very excited, and it was able to coincide with their 2026 Lake State Family Days here in Saginaw. So we were able to coordinate opportunities where we were able to operate at speeds of 40 miles an hour to test the steam locomotive, and we were also able to operate a series of Family Day excursions for them. As a thank you to our volunteers at SRI over many years and countless hours, Lake State was gracious enough to allow us to operate a volunteer appreciation trip the day after, which was May 17th. So we ran, for Lake State, we ran Saginaw to Birch Run in the morning on Saturday, and the evening trip we ran Saginaw down to Flint and back. Sunday, for our volunteer trip, we ran Saginaw to Holly, where we were able to have a 1 hour layover, and the town of Holly came out to give us a grand entrance. So the Pere Marquette Railway, which 1225 was ordered by in 1941, was a Michigan-based railroad. They had a couple major shops throughout Michigan. Their major overhaul shop was in Grand Rapids, and from Grand Rapids, the railroad ran, and these ran that system from Grand Rapids to Chicago, Grand Rapids to Plymouth and Detroit, and Grand Rapids to Saginaw. Saginaw is where the Lake State Railway Company is based out of, and off to my right here is the old roundhouse that they continue to use with their 1900s turntable, which 1225 has been spun on many times throughout its history. So being able to come out here to operate some of these test runs gave us the opportunity to bring 1225 home, so to speak, where it departed Saginaw on hundreds and thousands of freight trains.
Hi, I'm Rory Eaton with the Steam Railroading Institute. I'm a mechanic and student fireman and conductor here. Today, I fired this trip from Novi back to Saginaw. It was definitely historically significant. It was the first time in a very long time that this engine has pulled a revenue freight train. And this weekend was the first time in a very long time that it's gone any speeds like this. As well, we're back on home rails. These are the very rails that the Pere Marquette used to run this engine back in the 40s. I would love to see a few more events like this. More trains in more places with higher speeds.
With these test runs and today's really special freight train that we were able to pull from Novi up to Saginaw, we have ran approximately 75 miles at 40 miles an hour. The engine performed flawlessly. The weather could have been a little bit better, but the engine ran just as expected. The running gear rebuild from 2022 to 23 was wonderful. The engine was well balanced, and the repairs from the minor hiccup we had in 2025's NPE, the repair held up to what we were expecting. So knowing 1225 is able to operate at 40 miles an hour, that is the speeds at which Norfolk Southern likes to move steam locomotives. And coincidentally, through a fun partnership we've had with the Buckingham Branch Railroad down in Virginia, we are looking to take 1225 and our passenger consist down to Virginia. So The hidden secret behind all these trips for these test runs was to ensure that 1225 can make it the 750 miles to Virginia and operate 30 trips over the Buckingham Branch at speeds of 40 miles an hour this fall. I was very fortunate enough to be able to be at the controls of 1225 as we came into Holly, Michigan yesterday. As we rounded that curve, coming to our stop where the historic Holly Depot has been moved to, and seeing the hundreds of rail fans, the community members that don't know railroads, and just, the sea of people that were just awestruck with this thing, smiling, taking photos, I had gotten goosebumps. It was truly magical.